हेलो फ्रेंड्स, गुड मॉर्निंग। वेलकम टू साई क्लासेस। फ्रेंड्स, आज मैं आपको हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स का एडिटोरियल पैसेज ऑफ 29 अप्रैल 2023 सैटरडे शेयर कर रहा हूँ। लेट्स स्टार्ट। द हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स ए बूस्ट इन द fight against hate speech. The Supreme Court's directive on the registration of FIRs can remove one big hurdle in battling hate speech. Stop now, political action must follow. There are three major hurdles in the fight against hate speech in India. The first and often the most important is administrative vacillation stop. The second and associated problem is the absence of political will in checking hate speech by leaders, given how faith and community-based polarization often being electoral dividends. Stop. The third is legal, birthed by no concrete definition of hate speech. On Friday, the Supreme Court took a big strides in removing the first hurdle, ordering the immediate registration of the first information report in cases involving hate speech. In October, against the backdrop of cases where alleged hate speech were made, the top court asked the police chiefs of Delhi, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh to file suo motu cases. This week, the court extended the decision across India and reiterated that any violation of its directive will be treated as contempt of court. The court's directive is welcome, the only deterrent for elements who attempt to drive a wedge between communities is rigorous and persistent police action. Unfortunately, as seen in recent cases, police and local administrations are slow in booking bad actors, especially if they are politically connected. Stop. The reasons for this are obvious, as is the fact that infirmities in the legal proceedings often render them effectively inconsequential. The court's insistence that the administration not wait for complaints to file cases holds the potential to change this depressing status quo, but may require steady monitoring. But for sustained change to germinate, attention need to be paid to the other hurdles, the political and the legal. Stop. Unfortunately, polarized political equations and a near breakdown of communications between not just the government and the opposition, but also the center and some prominent status means the kind of compact needed to build a political consensus against hate speech eludes India today. Moreover, no political party appears willing to rein in leaders from making sectarian remarks or make it clear that disparaging comments will not get them a platform. Indeed, the reverse is often true. Finally, while India has a bucket of laws, some with vague provisions prone to misuse, usually used to rein in extremist speech, what it needs are clear guidelines. The Supreme Court and the government should consider a clear statutory definition of hate speech as recommended by a law commission report to steer away from current practices where prosecution is usually under section 295A of the Indian Penal Code, which is essentially an anti-blasphemy law, or sections 153A and B, which are not equipped to deal with the whole gamut of hate speech, as they are largely focused on maintaining social order. It is precisely because of these reasons that the court's October directions saw no great outpouring of cases against bad actors or a flurry of prosecution against them. This is not to say that Friday's order is not significant. It is, and it represents the first real step taken in India against hate speech. The court is right to observe that hate speech is dangerous because it can pierce the secular fabric of the nation, but to nurture democracy, the nation will have to move towards political and legal solutions to the problem in addition to administrative fixes. Stop.